are? Who the hell do you think you are?
Obama.
You any kind of artist? Anybody know who you are? Who are you?
I'm the Joker, baby.
You miserable, presumptuous, no talent.
Smoke a cigarette after I bang your dad in the butt.
An artist respects the silence and serves as the foundation of creativity.
Oh, mommy. Like, literally, mommy. Oh, God, I feel drunk.
You're everything that's gone wrong in this world. You're a self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit. And I've earned my right to say it.
I eat your asshole alive, you bitch. Fuck you, you hoe. Come and say in my face.
1975. I wrote Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? You nothing. You nothing. You are nothing. You will never be a creativity. That's right.
Asking about the electrical stuff when I went to go pick up that stuff from the rental place. There was like, I'm sitting there, guy checked me out, and all of a sudden he was like, got my ID and the credit card, and he just goes, fuck. I was like,
What?
what just happened? He's like, shut off. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, computer shut off. I'm like, oh, okay.
Peter shut
Yeah, I
up.
was like, why is this a problem? He's like, he's wiring a light upstairs and it's wired into the computer. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. The guy comes down. He's like, did the computer shut off? And he's like, yup.
What did he look like?
He was kind of like a normal, like, dad you would see at a lake. Silver gray beard with like a really shitty silver chain, like, oh, damn it. And then would walk back upstairs. He came down and I was like, hey, dude, just do that shit live. You know what I mean? He's like, well, I can't do it live when there's 4 wires in it. And I was like, just don't touch. And he was like, well, yeah. And then like stormed back off to turn it back on. Ooh, there you go. So that was funny. I made fun of the
For mean
rental
to an
guy
old
place.
man.
Yeah.
Did you have to like a plate compactor that you got?
Yes.
Vibrate.
16 by 22 compactor.
It bothers me that they're not all perfect.
Yeah, but
It should be. That's
they
like,
did have a square one.
I know, but like a balanced thing.
Yeah,
Right.
but see when you're doing patches, you need the length. Don't need the width.
Wider too.
No, you can't. If you do, it
needs to
throws
be
it off. I
The
completely
smallest
could
one.
not disagree more.
Smallest one available should be like 6 feet by 6 feet, and everything else should be done manually. That's the rules.
I was because I got one of the little hand tampers or whatever, and I
Yes.
was doing it. I was like, I wouldn't do this if this is what I had to use. I
That
would
was-
literally kill
So
myself.
when we were at the old house, I did that fire pit.
Yeah.
Right. And I had a hand tamper, and I did the whole thing with the hand tamper, and it was foot diameter circle. And
Nope.
I mean, luckily it was only gravel, right?
Still,
But
dude,
it
fuck
was. I mean, that was not a fun time. So
I would do the like old 80s construction trick of just like put sand down and hit it with water and let it dry out and be like, yep, there it is.
well, the way
all good.
I did it over like 4 weeks every day, a little at a time,
Okay.
right? But the way that I was imagining doing it was to take one of the empty 55-gallon drums and fill it up with water back there, just
And
like
to
roll it around.
around?
That's kind of what I was thinking about doing.
You know that patio my dad has at his house? He did
I
that.
think so. I haven't been there in forever.
There's
dude.
like it's pretty big. It's probably like 20. Probably got like a 20-foot radius at the front porch and swings. You know.
Okay.
And he put brick pavers down and he hand tamped the whole thing and he like didn't listen to me and so it's like not good.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of
And I mean, dude, it was like literally like even just doing it with him and like the brothers doing it, it was literally like a $13,000 job. That's just like all wavy and bad now.
Well,
you
that
know?
was it was just the fire pit that I did was I just like leveled the ground,
Yeah.
put sand or put like tarp, whatever the annoying black stuff is.
Yes.
Put that down and then
The stuff
put
that doesn't
sand down.
work.
Yes. And it's always in the way. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's like the weeds still grow through it, but it somehow is like there in 100 years and
And
getting
it
in
makes
the way.
the media you put on top of it disperse
Yeah.
terribly.
Whatever. I don't use it anymore.
Good.
But it was sand and then gravel, the like thinner gravel or the smaller gravel and the bigger gravel.
Yeah.
Whatever. It
ABC.
was like fine crusher shred or whatever the fuck.
Jack stud, king
Yeah.
stud.
And the thing about it though that weird was the guy tried to tell me I was doing it wrong at the gravel place. He was like, you shouldn't put sand under it. And I was like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
and I was like, well, what should I have done then? Normally you just something else under gravel, and I was like,
Something different.
yeah, and I was like, okay, and then he kept trying to be like, let me call my boss, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna buy the gravel
Yeah.
either way, so can you just like please
Yeah, you
fucking
can
ring me
talk to me
up?
while they're loading it up, but stop.
Yeah, and he kept doing the thing where he was like, and like taking his hat off, like rubbing his hands, just I don't
Let me
know.
tell you how we used to do it back in the day.
No, this guy was like 20 something, and I could
Okay.
tell that maybe he didn't wish he hadn't have said it, like whatever. And I was like, well, like what should I do then if I'm doing it wrong? And it's
Yeah.
like, oh man, I don't know. Let me talk to my
Start
boss.
sweating.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
So I'm buying $60 worth of gravel, man. Just like fucking put it in the truck. Like, whatever. I got the Hobbit for Owen
Okay.
because the book, right?
Uh-huh.
And I got the one with the illustrations because he pictures, right? He's like 3, but
Dude, I fucking need pictures.
well, and I was reading it to him, and we do a couple pages at a time, and it usually ends up with him fixating on like the dumbest detail possible.
Sure.
He'll be like I'll get like 3 pages of super fucking dense text.
Yep.
Right, and then he'll just be like, "Dad, the Hobbit's door is green," and man, like that's the only thing that you took away from this, being like, and then Blimbo and Dimbo entered the
Yes.
Blimbo. So, and I'm reading it, and he was asking me questions, so I decided to do. I was listening to like a refresher lore video,
Yeah.
right, and I get to the part when they're talking about. And then Sauron crafted the rings, and they gave 1 to this guy, and 5 to this guy, and 7 to this one,
Yep.
and not, and like just like whatever, right? And then he made his own ring at the end. Is like that's the story. And I was imagining that there should have been another plot in the Lord of the Rings where instead of them, they need to get the big ring,
Okay.
the big mean ring,
Okay.
Sauron's ring to control everyone or whatever. They're collecting all of the other rings.
Okay.
And it's like, what happens when you put all of them on at once, as well as the master ring?
Oh.
And I'm imagining like the Hobbit man, and he's like T-posing, and he's got rings on every single one of his fingers and his
Beams
toes.
of light coming out
and
behind
he's just
him.
flying towards Mordor, and Sauron's like, "Oh fuck no!"
No,
And
they
he
did
just-
it.
yeah,
They
like,
figured it out.
lightning shooting down from him and smiting all the orcs and shit. And I was thinking about how that would be quite the turn of events, because he'd be like, "Oh shit, dude, we've got they're gonna put on the the Diet Coke rings instead of the full
Instead
ring,
of the full milk.
because you're a
Yes,
ring."
9 rings for the realms of men.
Yes,
7 for the
but the
dwarves.
point
3 for
of
the
the-
elves.
the point of
the
them,
elvish rings were more powerful than the.
but the point of them was to be like under his control, right?
Yes.
So what happens if you're wearing the master ring and the control it rings?
Well, see,
Just
technically,
explode.
yes.
Fucking die.
Actually, oh fuck, Peter Jackson, is he the one that did the movies?
Yes.
Yeah, Peter. He put all the rings on. They're like, oh fuck, we're done. You just put like 20,000 people out of a job, and you're like, there's the end of the movie.
And it was I don't know, I was having fun. The intensity of which people take those things seriously.
Yeah.
That was.
Well, actually, that wouldn't work because the spirit of Sauron is
There was-
following in the ring, and the ring couldn't actually be in control of the rest of them because
There
he's
was
not him.
several multi-hour YouTube videos that
Yeah.
had like tens of millions of views. And I'm like, okay, I can see on a subject this big and popular, I
Sure.
can see a couple being able to sustain that
Yeah.
volume. But you look at these channels, and it's like, why Gandalf was a cool guy, 20 million views. And then it's like the next
Damn.
the next one down is like the Lessons in Masculinity by Gandalf. And then it's like 20 million views. And I'm like, dude, are the same people just like, all right, another Gandalf video, enter.
Probably. They can't get enough. You were saying like alternate Lord of the Rings. What if it's just like the Queen of the Rings and it's just hoop earrings, and there's like the main cicada and she's got like big hoops, and then you got like the wannabe cicadas with the little loops, and then they
Well, maybe that was the
all go
truth. It
ratchet.
is, if they had gotten a chunk in that, if they had put them into like earrings instead of rings, it
Yeah.
would have dispersed enough of the power so that they could like,
Oh.
they could make a big wall or whatever the one guy wanted, and then died.
Yeah.
If I had the ring, I'd build a wall, and they shot him with an arrow, and that was bye Boromir.
Bye, Borbor.
So we went to this wonderful wedding last weekend.
Yeah, that's must have been fun.
Yeah, and it was some of it is just frustrating. It's not even like really funny or interesting.
Sure.
But we got seated at the table with random people because we didn't really know that many. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that many people there, and I'm sitting at this table and well directly across from me because it's circled. I mean, they're fine,
Yeah.
right? They seem normal, but the guy was some sort of European,
Ooh.
like,
What
like
kind of
Russian
European?
Europe.
Okay.
His name was Vlad, but he wasn't Russian. He was like that type of.
Okay, but it wasn't like a metrosexual European.
No, I mean he was more metrosexual than an American, but he was very
Granted.
clearly like he was. I liked him. He was
Okay.
fine, right? But he had like the designer stuff on and
Okay.
whatever. But so I was talking to him a little bit, and he was like asking us like, "Oh, like you have kids and stuff, right?" And we're like, "Yeah." And they had 2 kids, and one of the first things he said was, "Yeah, like our oldest son is autistic." And I'm like, "Okay, I got to be careful what I say around this guy because like I don't want to be
I don't want to be
mean, right?
cruel or anything.
So then it was like almost immediately he's just like, "Yeah, that shit's fucking retarded, man." And I'm like,
nice.
"Okay." And then I was like, "Okay, well, maybe he's." Like it was very quickly,
Sure.
like extremely quickly after he said it.
He's just letting you know. He gave you the ground rules, right? And he's just smoothing
I
it
was
out
like,
for
okay,
you.
so maybe that's whatever.
Right.
And then it was like, he keeps talking and he just keeps saying it. And it got to the point where I'm like uncomfortable for this guy. Like, I don't know how to explain this.
Yeah, I got a retarded kid, but everything else is fucking retarded.
No, he was like, like my brother, he'd come here and he says, this stuff, it's retarded. The sales tax, it's fucking retarded here. And like, just like all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't even.
Dude, it's his coping mechanism.
I don't know, man. He seemed whatever. And he was trying to explain to me about how he lives in Tennessee and his like income or property tax where he lives is like $600 for the whole year.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, well,
wow,
you live in a different place.
That is not retarded.
Yeah. And I was like, well, that's nice, but like you live in a different place than here, so it's going to be different. And like I was like, state sales tax and property tax and income tax is different, everywhere. But like, I would like to pay nothing in all tax would be my opinion. But he was telling me about that, and then he was like, yeah, we live in like a small town with only like 50,000 people, and I was like, what? Yeah, and I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah.
Nashville,
Well, I mean, he was like, right. It's like one of the small towns right outside of Chattanooga. And I looked it up and it's like, there's no fucking small town.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And it was just making me laugh. And he's telling me all this stuff. And then, man, what else did he say? He was saying something that was just like, he was trying to explain to me. So he was like, yeah, I don't really drink anymore. That's a young man's game. And he just drunk as hell.
Yeah, as he's like drinking straight liquor.
It was like 3 or 4 mixed drinks in a row.
Yeah.
And then he was drunkenly trying to explain to me how much he loves in Michigan, how you can get liquor at gas stations and stuff.
Right.
Going other places, yes.
Yes, did not know how much of a blessing that was until you got to go to an ABC store that's closed half the time.
Yeah, or like there's one, because down, I think Tennessee, they have a certain amount of licenses that they can have per area.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, there's only 20 liquor store licenses for the county.
Yeah.
Right. And he was telling me about how, they got the Costco and the Sam's Club and they got all the licenses, but they can't have them too close together. So they got to whatever. And so Costco doesn't have a liquor license, but the store. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you? And it's like local Chattanooga, Tennessee liquor store politics he's telling me about. And I'm like, yeah, man, I don't even know who you are. Like, why are we here?
Coming from the guy that doesn't drink it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
it was whatever.
Very involved in the politics.
I don't even know what he was drinking either because it was literally like thick, brown, milky water with an olive in it.
Is he drinking a white with an olive?
Yes.
Oh.
And it was brown.
Ew.
Like, I guess burgundy. Like it looked like you took milk and wine and mixed them together, put an olive in it.
Ugh. Any drink with an olive is gross. Dude, I've officially switched to Busch. Like I said, I recently switched to the BuschLight game. I went. Oh, that's it right there on the bottle. I went into a liquor store that's near me, and I walked in there, and it was like some Habib, and I was ready for him to be like, really fucking Indian, Sikh, Arab, whatever. And so I kind of went up there, and I was like already like abrasive to like preempt myself for the interaction, and I throw it up there, and he's like, "Oh, hey man, nice. Anything else you want?" And I was like, "Shit." Yeah, well, I was like, well, actually, he was like, "Oh, can I get your ID?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like panicking because I was ready to be like mean to him, and I like showed him my CPL, and he's like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, that's my CPL, that's my gun license. Here's this." And he's like, "That either one works, man." And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like dropping my sunglasses by here. He's like, "Well, have a good day." He was like, "Oh yeah, thanks, you too, bro." Did you get it? The
Yeah,
crush
that
fit?
reminds me of when we were when I was in college for a year,
Mhm.
and I decided it was like right when people were starting to turn their opinion on like underground lifting people were like nicotine's actually good for studying.
Okay.
Like when that I don't know, this was 10 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, okay. And I have like the finals coming up and I don't want to smoke cigarettes. I'm gonna get chew.
Yeah,
And when this was before pouches were
yeah.
I mean, there was
There
like
was no nicotine pouches. You either
they
had
were the chew
dip
pouches,
pouches
yeah.
or yeah.
So I stopped at that gas station that's right by OU up
Mhm.
there, and it's, like a nice
Yeah.
gas like, not a place where normally you're
The floor is not sticky, and the
exactly.
bathrooms are clean.
So I go in there, and I'm realizing that I don't remember any of the terminology,
Yeah.
right? And I walk up to the counter, and I'm like, can I have, a thing of chew?" And the guy's like, "What kind?" Right? And I'm like, "Oh, the green one." And he's like, "Pouches or" and I couldn't hear
Long
what he
cut, wide cut,
no,
fine cut?
he said, "Pouches," and then turned to grab it, and I
Yeah.
couldn't hear what he said, and I was like, "Oh, shit, I don't remember what long cut was."
Yeah.
So I was like, the green loose leaf?" And he stiffened up and turned around, and was like, "I'm gonna have to see your ID." And I was like, "Fuck." Like, I was like 20 or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
And he just looked at it and was just like, "Here you go." And, put in like 2 strands of it, immediately got sick and just threw it away because
Yep.
I
Yep.
just
That is the way that one goes. The green one. Can I get a circle of,
well,
the brown, please?
yeah, that was
That's fucking
I'm
funny.
getting harassed by the guy I bought that audio interface from.
Really?
Yeah, Mike.
Is he Mike asking for a kiss?
No, he's like,
Asking for
"Please
a
let me know
tip?
if it arrived correctly." That guy, Mike on Gear Exchange, Sweetwater.
Yeah?
Everyone should just buy something from him. He had a couple of like guitar pedals like
Yeah.
this for sale, and they're like really shitty ones, and they're for sale for like $9, and the shipping was 27. So if anyone
Oh.
wants to waste a bunch of money on a definitely not worth it guitar pedal, hit up Mike on Guitar or
Dude,
Gear
that's it.
Exchange.
Yeah, the shout out, the fucking sponsor.
He did. I couldn't believe I was gonna save the packaging, but I just throw it away. He packed that thing in Amazon box,
Okay.
and
With his address on it and
no,
everything.
he put like 15 different types of packing, like
Okay.
smaller boxes that take up space, and then wadded up tissue paper, and then newspaper, and then it was a construction paper too.
Wow.
Bubble wrap, that like weird foam paper stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
That in there, and just all the stuff. And I opened it up, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" There's cloth. So he literally was just like going through the garbage, like some of this in here, need someone to put some
Dude,
of
he's
this
a
in here.
package engineer. What do you
I don't know,
expect?
man.
It's the first time he got to use his degree.
Little pack rat, man.
He is a pack rat. I had driving home on 75. For the longest time.
This is gonna just be the 75 podcast.
This will be the 75 podcast. Yeah, I can tell. I have numerous amounts of stories. Some fat Mexican tried to like get me out of my car and beat me up because I passed him or whatever. But this most recent time, for the longest time, I would get out of the third lane when it merged down to 2 lanes. Or yeah, right. Well, now it's not illegal, and so I'm a third lane cruiser, right? I won't be belligerent about it, but I'll get down there 200 feet before the end, and then I'll just get over. Well, you got cowboys out there. They're trying to keep the peace on the road. That'll pull into the third lane and like block it so you can't go. which is illegal, by the way. So I'm in my little beater, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this guy," and I go around him on the shoulder, and he guns it, and he speeds up, and he's like trying to run me off the road, but he's got a nicer car than me, and I just kept going straight, and he comes up, and he almost gives it a tap, and there's a sign, and I have to do a quick pit change to get around him, and then all of a sudden we're at the place where it merges, and his whole point was to, like, stop me from getting there, and we just literally sped 70 miles an hour to the end so he could stop me, and I just got over, I waved at him and said, "Hey, thanks," and just kept driving.
I don't know. I don't that specific spot you're talking about, there is absolutely no reason that it ever needed to be 4 lanes up to that point.
No.
It would be far better if it was just if they just didn't have that lane ever.
Yep.
It's I don't that spot really annoys me when
It is literally backed up every fucking day for, like, no reason because some 16-year-old lady is like, "I can't get over."
it's usually semi trucks that are just like
Well, semi-trucks
have-
should be banned.
I have a thing this morning that really got me.
Yeah.
It's near there. It's the 75-59 interchange.
Ah.
And I was trying to get over into the
Yep.
fucking get on where the right lane is for interchange. It's not
Yes.
for whatever in that specific spot. Semi truck
It's not for cruising. Like, get the
semi-truck
fuck out of the
pulls
way.
up into the lane,
Uh-huh.
puts his hazards on,
Mm.
just stops, lets like 4 people on, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna go.
Sure.
Then he just starts matching the speed of the people on 59 trying to get on 75 and just goes straight through, doesn't let anyone else in, holds up traffic. I mean, it was like 5
What the
minutes.
fuck are you doing?
Exactly. And it made me so mad that I like wrote a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you ever see the 1994 Street Fighter movie? Did you?
No.
Okay. Then let me go
Is that the
because
scene?
there's a part in it when it's like the evil bad guy comes to the village of the guy who's going to be Earth's champion.
Okay.
And he says, he's like talking to him. He's like, for you, the day I graced your village was the most important day of your life. For me, it was Tuesday, right? Like,
Yep, sure,
whatever.
okay.
Okay. And I was imagining this, like, the scene is a guy like screaming in his car as he can't get on the highway.
Yeah.
And the semi truck driver looking down at him and just not letting him over, causing chaos
Yep.
and whatever. And the trucker rolls down the window and he says, for you, this was the most inconvenient moment of your day. For me, this was just the most recent interchange. And then he pulls up to the next one and does the same shit and looks at everyone and he's like, job
And
well
he's,
done.
He's going all the way to
Yeah, that's what I-
Tallahassee, dude.
And it's, I mean, I swear they get a kick out of it.
Oh yeah,
And
100%.
I just like, and it was also the part about it that probably it would make more sense to everyone is it was a local. What are the day delivery stuff? They call them like local.
Oh, day drivers or
Yeah, it was a full size semi, like a 53-foot trailer, but it was the local delivery thing. So
Yeah.
like, it would go from like Amazon to fucking UPS
Sure, right.
or whatever,
They're
right?
like in state. They're home
No,
every night.
not even that. Like local within the county. So
Really?
he knew what was there.
Okay, and
So-
he's done this before.
Yes. And I could not believe what I was saying. I mean, this like if there was a cop there, he probably would have been pulled over type
Good.
of thing because it was the epitome of impeding traffic. Like there I don't know what else. It was insane. I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching.
Maybe he stalled out and he was too embarrassed.
No, he was. I was watching very closely because I was very close to it, and I was the guy screaming in my car, yeah, literally frothing at the mouth, and it didn't help either because there was supposed to be a call with an attorney today that I was supposed to be on,
Yeah.
right, and I was going to be late to it, so I like whatever, and I get there, I get in, and then I go to the meeting, and I sit down, and I'm looking at one of the other guys that's.
Yeah.
And we're talking, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "So are we gonna like get on this call?" And they're like, "Oh, they rescheduled." I'm like, "Why am I here?
Why are we talking?
Yeah,
What
why are we
doing?
talking about this? Why didn't you tell any of us?
Yeah.
Whatever." So that was,
Damn, dude.
I was laughing about it, but I did get the full video of the dot matrix printer.
Hell yeah.
So it is pretty cool. I
liked the setup. It was it looked amusing.
yes, but the quality actually turned out really good.
Yep.
Yeah, and for our 165-year-old listener out there,
Yes.
it is quite difficult to get that stuff set up. So it's amazing that anything ran at all before there was like digital printers and stuff, because the amount of adjustments.
Different time back then, different breed of men.
I get you had to have real rough hands to use a fucking dot matrix printer. That thing I had to there was like 4 or 5 adjustments in order to just get the brand new ink cartridge
Really?
ribbon thing
Uh-huh.
to print legibly. And I had to, on the cartridge itself, poke this thing with a pen and then wind a thing like a clock,
Okay.
then put it in and make sure the ribbon was perfectly in alignment with the pin head.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then after that, I had to like adjust the distance from the paper that
Okay.
the head was, and then the intensity of which the signal was sent to the head. And I was like, dude, just print the fucking paper. Oh my God. Right.
Oh, these are the people that like the office tech service people that were like
That's
the
what I
80s
was
and
saying
90s.
earlier. Yeah.
They come in, actual technicians, right? And now it's like, oh, we have a paper jam. The guy hooks up his laptop, a software update, and is like, all right, that's it. That's all I need.
That was what I was thinking about was imagining a printing place, like a newspaper.
Yeah.
Or like a
fucking engineering firm,
yeah,
computer
anywhere.
Something where they're using miles of that.
Yeah, and just to keep that shit running. Holy shit. But it is cool because when it was printing, I like how some of the stuff, because it's a 24 pin. I was telling you the other day, like whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a thermal transfer almost through the ribbon onto the paper, and it's a grid of 24 pins that to cutes based off whatever. Okay. And you can, if depending on if you're doing like a first draft of your work, you set it to draft mode and it only fires one time, so it's like really faint.
Sure.
Right. And then when you like what you typed, you set it to print.
When it rapid fires,
okay,
and it hits
it does like twice or 3 times per letter, so the sound is completely different. It's like tonk 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 tonk. Like,
wow, that's crazy.
It was cool to see.
Dude, that's a lot of moving parts. That's incredible.
I know, and the craziest part about it is that was sitting on just a broken. That came with a plasma cutter.
Plasma table, right? Like 6x10 plasma table.
Yeah, and I can't. I mean, the thing had to have been sitting.
What a fire hazard, by the way.
Yeah.
Like plasma torching out with this like miles of paper that are soaked in like volatile ink.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But it was it's just impressive that the thing basically worked immediately.
Yeah.
Like it took me 10 minutes. I've never used one before.
Yep.
It took me 10 minutes just to get it to work with a normal
You could
computer.
do all the adjustments by yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't need a.
It took me a while, but I figured it out.
Yes.
Although we are missing the big like
hand crank.
Yeah, but
I can't crank it.
Speaking of old timers, there was this guy who was telling me about like unprompted, naturally, about where he started basically started at college and to where he is at now, and he's like 30 years of work history or whatever. He's like, yeah, back in the day it was really fun. I'd get hired in an Oldsmobile in 84, or was it 85? It was 84.
What was
this? Was
go back?
This is an old man from our church.
Okay. But what was the circumstance of this? Was it
we were getting ready for the study we do, and he comes in unprompted, me and Gideon are talking about something. He's like, let me tell you about.
Okay, so but this wasn't like just in public or
this wasn't in public. No,
okay.
We were sitting there. We know this guy.
So, but it was unsolicited boomerisms. It was like an AOE attack from proximity, kind of.
Yeah, it was a proximity attack because he like literally unprompted just to like insert himself into the conversation, and so he. There you go. You got the books in the fridge? Oh, okay. Anyway, he shows up and he like I said, he's giving us the entire work history. And he was like, yeah, when I first started as an engineer for GM, first time I was on the shop floor, I walked out and the lead shop guy, one of the UAW guys, good guys, he came over to me and was like, you're going to buy me coffee. And he drugged me over to the coffee shop and I paid for it. And then he looked at me, he grabbed onto my tie and he yanked me to the ground. And was like, what? He's like, don't you ever wear that tie in here again. It either comes off or you don't wear one. He was like, it was the best lesson I ever learned.
For what?
And like a automotive like assembly line shop. He was wearing a tie.
So he was like, you could get sucked into the machine.
Yes. But I mean, just like, if you leave the T handle in the lathe and someone chucks it at your head, like, don't do that. Like, okay, well, lasting impression, whatever. And then he went on to be like, yeah, a lot of people just don't understand when you're dealing with those guys. If you want something done, you got to talk. You got to learn stuff about them, right? You can't just go out there and ask them to do their job. You got to be like, hey, Chad, how's your kid doing? In order to do their job. And I'm sitting there as he's saying this, and I'm just seething. He's like, yeah, you got to
But
butter him up a little bit.
For like, I don't even. How did that get to there?
On the shop floor, he was the engineer on the shop floor, and in order to get the people to do their jobs on the line, the UAW workers, you had to like sit down and have
I get what you're saying. I was just confused how it went from and then the guy held me down by my tie, and then you got to talk to him, tell him what's up, brother.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it didn't all happen in one day. This is.
I was just confused about it.
But you just got to talk to people, man.
Because what he's saying, he's talking about in order to get them, the people who are in the union, to do their jobs, you have to appease them and trick them into thinking you care about their day to do their job, right?
Exactly.
Like
or you can actually care and talk to them, which is what he did. But it's like trying to justify talking to people and making them feel good to do their job. And I was like, my face was getting red, and Gideon was like looking at me, giggling. My dad was like,
dude, I don't know, those
hate it. I don't like it.
I still think
fucking job.
I still think back about that when those ductwork guys were in the building, and
my god,
they look like carnies.
Yes, literally, it was like the insane clown posse.
Yeah, and there was like 15 different color hairs, different haircuts. They were every style of pear that you could have as a body. Like there was like long pears, and fat pears, and
the
short.
lump moved up progressively. It was like the lowest lump was right above the knees. The highest lump was like underneath the shoulders.
Well, and they all had. I mean, they all looked like troubled youth in in school suspension. Like that's what it looked like, and it was.
They went to like the school you go to after you've been suspended too many times.
Yes.
Right. And I mean, it was ranging like 20-year-olds to like 65-year-olds, 45-year-olds. All of them are alcoholics.
Yes.
It was. But I will say this: for the longest time, I never knew where like the naked girl calendars came from. Because because like anytime you go into like an old like a dude's building or his garage and he's working on a car, you see these like nudie things or whatever. And I'm like, where do you fucking get that? And I was gifted one by the lead shop hand, and I was like, where do you get these? And he's like, construction company hands them out. Linda's got to order a pallet of them every Thursday.
Damn, dude.
I was like, oh wow.
Those guys though, I remember one of the days they were there, I was walking through the mezzanine and they were up there for some reason, right? And one of the guys was just laying on the ground.
Okay.
And I was like with his hard head on, just laying on the ground. And I was
holy
like,
shit, did you fall? Are you okay? Like,
oh, that's what I was like, dude, are you all right? And he like wouldn't answer me. And I walked over to one of the guys and I was like, hey, is he like okay? And they're like, yeah, he's just hungover. And I was like in where he's laying is next to a giant air compressor.
Yeah,
that's
running
and like loud as shit, and it's blowing hot air. And I'm like, dude, like, do you need to like sit? I was like, do you want to like sit in a chair, not in front of this? And they're like, nah, leave him alone. He needs to learn his lesson.
He's good.
And then the next day when I came in, I drove around the back of the building for whatever reason. And I'm looking at the guy, and they pull their work truck up with a trailer, and they open the trailer. Like they had just finished pulling up.
Yeah.
And they're undoing the trailer, and they open the trailer to get tools out, and like 3 of the guys walk out of the trailer. Right? And I was like, what the fuck? And I was talking to one of the other people, and they apparently had gone in there to get something, and the guy closed it as a joke.
Okay.
But I prefer my interpretation of it, where that's how they move the retarded workers.
And all of them can't drive because they have DUIs and their license has been suspended.
Well,
so they just
8 of them on the job site.
Yeah, and they just load them up on the trailer. And those guys that are in the trailer, they don't actually work. They're just there to collect hours.
Well, yeah, because it's mandatory from the union.
Exactly.
Well, that was the thing that really bothered me was when they had to come out to do that, when they finished their union approved labor and it immediately leaked and didn't work at all.
Yes.
So they had to come
back
back
to be
out.
revised 5 times and took over 3 years to do like a 3-week project.
I'm talking specifically about by the truck dock, that one.
Yes.
Right. And they finished it and it was immediately leaking.
Yep.
Right. And they came out to like, I mean, what was that like tar stuff they put on it to stop? What is that?
Just roofing tar.
What they put some sort of
a witch hat.
They put a witch hat on it.
Yes.
And it was one guy on a man lift doing it.
Yep.
Well, 5 of them stood at the foot of the man lift and giggled to each other.
Yep.
And then left, and we got billed for all 6 of them.
Yep.
And it was like, what? I don't.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was thinking about this the other day. So, you know, like speaking of like the nude magazines and like the calendars, the old timers like 1950 or maybe even 1940 to like 1970 with the like the pinup girl tattoos like on their arms.
Yeah.
Do you think that was so you could work one out during wartime?
I think
'Cause,
that
like when you're sitting there in the trench, right? Or you're like, damn it,
You know
hey
what?
Dave, come here,
Yeah.
show me your arm.
I need to change it up a little
Yeah,
bit. Come
close
here.
your eyes. He's just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, you're dead.
Not again.
Yeah,
or
he's
they
holding
make
up.
they make the weakest guy get a bunch of them, and they're like,
Yes.
"Hey, Billy, get over here. Come
Come here, yeah, take your shirt off, turn around.
Exactly.
I was thinking, I was like, oh, that'd be funny.
I was actually thinking about I read a story about one of the I think he was actually ended up becoming a combat ace, like a pilot that shoots down I think it's 5 something.
Yeah, 5 or 7 or
So
something like
he was
that.
like a World War I or World War II combat ace,
Mm-hmm.
and he was some sort of super ultra Christian Mormon something.
Sure.
Okay. And he was married at 16.
Okay.
Right. And when everyone was getting their planes painted,
Yeah.
and whatever, and he just got like his wife painted on his plane
Oh.
as like a pinup model, and
Okay.
then was shocked when all of the guys were like, "That's a hot lady," and he was like, "My lord, like,
don't look at her.
exactly, like,
Stop it.
avert thy lustful gaze." It's like, well, what'd you expect, man? I don't. It is kind of funny though, because you read those war stories and it's like always not the guy that
that you would think.
because wasn't that one of the Southern generals in the Civil War who was really good was like a super ultra like retarded guy that was like, I wish I was in the choir now, and then just killed like 1 million people.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's just make some stuff up. So there was this guy in Civil War
He
II.
used to sing in a choir, and then he massacred.
Yeah, he
10,000
he
people.
had such a what's the high note? What's the
tenor?
He had such a good tenor that he could actually
A falsetto?
explode people's heads on the
Yes.
battlefield.
No.
Yes. He
Would actually turn them gay.
no, I was
Maybe he was one of those Castro. You know the Castros?
Grotto.
Yeah, castrato.
Yeah, Ben is very into listening
into
to
the
that
castra-
singing.
Oh, really?
He doesn't like it. He just thinks it's very funny, and I'm like, it
Okay.
just sounds weird, man. I like the whole thing is very strange, you
Yeah.
know, because the part about it that always made me feel weird was they claim that it was the like child's decision.
Yeah, okay, but like you're gonna take a 7-year-old and cut his balls off and be like, yes, I want to sound like this forever.
But when you read the stories of how they go about it, they're like, and this older male person was like, you should really think about doing this. You should make it decision
Yes.
now. And they were like, hello, church, I want to become a castrato. And they're like, oh, nope, take backs. And they just like
No
take them in
take-backsies.
literally, yes. That was the story of that guy. That was
Jeez, the last castrato.
the final castrato. He was it seemed like maybe the chain of command or like the checks and balances were off in the situation. It didn't seem right to me when
I think anytime you're cutting something off, I don't think the standard operating procedure is very good.
24-hour turnaround.
Yes.
You'll be singing like a lady anytime.
Hey, you make a good Civil War general, apparently.
Yeah, he could have. Imagine him, a guy with no balls, and he's flying around the battlefield
Yeah.
with like 20 eagles carrying him, and
Yes.
he's screeching his super high pitched voice that really didn't seem all that high in the recording I heard. So I was like, I don't really.
What's really the point? I'm pretty sure you could do this with balls, but whatever.
That's what I've heard people sing higher. Or why don't you just have children do it
Yeah.
instead of like why? You're not gonna run out of them. But there's that show on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but I saw a bunch of clips of it,
Okay.
and I think I actually did watch 10 minutes. But it was
Love Island. Your Love Island look.
Yeah, it's what's the one that I got in trouble for with like the naked 9-year-old? There was a show on Netflix or something that they definitely they pushed it too far.
Sure. Yeah.
Like actually like some pageant show about 9-year-olds that were like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuck. But like
that one.
dancing.
There was
yeah,
like
whatever.
the Muslim girl was like twerking and being possessed by a demon.
Yes.
That
And
show.
the fat mom was like being harassed by some lady in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Dude. Okay, hold on. On the way home today, I tried to take a video, but I couldn't get it.
Uh-huh.
The Ryobi electric lawnmowers
Okay.
are fucking converted wheelchairs.
Really?
The controls for the zero turn, the Ryobi electric zero turns, it's the joystick like a Stephen Hawking chair.
Really?
Yes. I saw this guy and I was
that'd be
staring
fun.
at him and he was in the thing and like this and he's mowing the lawn with the like little like the retard lever thing and like zooming around.
And it's a zero turn, but it's only got one lever and it's like the
and the other thing's just an armrest. And I was like, damn, he's got a custom retard chair. This guy must like really whatever.
Fucking
and
zooming.
then he stood up afterwards and I was like, what the fuck? And I realized like in my head it was more realistically that he had a custom thing built and was all crunched up than it was that he you know, that's just what they are. And I was looking at it and it literally is that's like a mobility chair.
Okay.
That they
just converted to a lawnmower.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's smart.
I mean, a lot of people just like, I guess they can't handle the tank steering. So,
well, but no, it's not even necessarily that. It's if you're going to try to have it, it's an existing platform, right?
Sure.
It exists already. All you got to do is put electric cutters on it. It was literally, and I was looking at the frame. It is that, like I'll pull it up because it was very funny.
Okay, so it's an actual
it's
Stephen Hawking chair with blades on it.
Yes, it's a Battle Hawking chair. But it was a zero turn. And it was not because I was looking it up and the zero turns that they have, they do have the arm, like whatever they are, but it was a small one. Here.
Interesting.
Oh, wait, no, this isn't it. But this is similar. You can kind of see. There's the joystick thing. Hold on. Right there.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, so and the guy did not appreciate me staring at him.
Yeah, well, it's gay.
Well, I was so confused because it was. I mean, imagine if you saw like a wheelchair basketball player stand up at the end.
Yeah,
you'd be like, what?
What are you doing?
So that was confusing to me.
Damn.
But back to that thing I was kind of watching. There was a historical show. There's one historical show about like Chester Arthur and James Garfield. I think that has Nick Offerman in it.
Okay,
and it was it seems high budget. I don't really know anything about it, but they're doing all of their, you know, it's talking about how he became a politician out of like a good old boys club, basically.
Okay.
But through like good influences in politics, he ended up becoming like one of the better presidents we've ever had. Because he used the political machine to get into power and then immediately like shut it all down. Which cool story, whatever. I mean, he didn't accomplish everything he wanted to, and he wasn't a perfect guy, but it's better than a lot of shit. So I was watching it, and it's Nick Offerman, and he's doing his, you know, like
standard,
good Lord, my lady, like all the old talking stuff. And then I was thinking about that there's an episode of Parks and Recs where he has like cornrows and talks like a wigger.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about how funny it would be if you could do a show, like a 100% historically accurate show, right? And then it'll be like about colonial America, right? And all the people will be like doing, doth thou speak death of the Lord, and like in, you know, whatever, like to the people, for the people, whatever.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it stops being like formal setting, they're wearing like or sweatsuits, and they're just like talking like 90s black guys, and just like what up, my dude, and just like whatever.
Damn,
and then
but anytime they're addressing,
and then it's like all right, brother, time for the ceremony, and they change into the suit, and they're like, doth thou speaketh upon me, and like whatever. And all of the content of the show is 100% like how it happened, right? Like it's completely boring.
But all the busy scenes and transitions is
and it's like when they go home, they're like, let me change into my nightgown, and then they're wearing like a silk tracksuit, and they're like,
man, that bitch was beat back in the day. Like, you ain't even seen that shit.
Exactly, stuff like that. But it's like 100% true.
Yes.
You know, I think that would be funny.
Dude, mind melt.
It would probably wear off within like 20 minutes, but those first 20 minutes would
probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
You think you could actually somehow not really implement the character BuschLight Year?
That's a pretty good one.
So
have you been thinking about that all week, or did you just come up with
I
that?
came on the ride here because you were like, "Hey,
So you
find some
summoned
stuff."
this into existence.
Yeah, so I was like,
okay.
"Hey, find some stuff," and I was like, "Okay," and then I didn't. I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta think of something to go." And
well,
so,
what would the other guy? But what's Woody?
yeah, so it'd be Woody, and the best I could come up with is a dude that's got like a continuous stiffy.
So
That's also like
a drunk pedophile or
well,
something.
no, because
like,
BuschLight Year, he's gonna be the drunk dude,
well,
and like
so in this scenario though, is it like an anthropomorphic beer can, or is this like a drunk?
no,
guy?
this is like basically a Leahy and like the cross of Steve, the guy that like jumps the like lawn tractors on YouTube.
But that Ray's Last Jump guy?
Yes, Ray's.
Okay.
So that's BuschLight Year, and then Woody's kind of like he's like hooked on some type of opiate, and he's wearing sweatpants and a dirty T-shirt, and he's like, I took so many drugs, my dick works actually too good now, and so it would have a continuous boner. And then for Bo Peep,
what is he like? I have to.
For Bo Peep, it would
Hold
actually.
on 1 second. Go back to Woody.
Woody, okay.
I'm opening MS Paint, so. So you've got BuschLight Year is on a tractor and he's drinking.
Yes, and he actually has a suit of armor or like the Buzz Lightyear outfit made out of the Bush cans. So that's BuschLight Year. Woody is like a fentanyl addict with a perpetual boner.
But what does he look like?
Gosh, what's the name? There's this one comedian that
is he fat? Is he skinny? Is he tall?
He's skinny. He's got the long face that's like sunken in from drug use.
Is he like Skinny Pete?
Yes, but he looks more. Yeah, Skinny Pete to work.
Well, no, give me. We need exactly.
All right,
I'm gonna have to draw this, so I need specifics because
okay, hold on.
I mean, does he have like a? Is he tan or is he pale?
He's definitely brown, but you can't tell if he's actually like tan, or it's the melanin, or if he's dirty.
Okay, so ambiguous race.
Yes.
Maybe. I feel like that could work. What you're talking about.
I gotta find it. There's one guy that I was like, oh, that'd be good.
I like to imagine right now you have in your phone gallery just a bunch of pictures of random men.
Could be that.
Who is James Akis? Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Why are his hands so small?
Because all the blood's a perpetual boner.
It's like that's like a shitty. What's the you might be a redneck guy? Who's that? Jim Gator.
Jim Gator. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whoever that guy is, he had a.
Oh, you know what? What's the Jew libertarian guy that's got a podcast? Dave Smith.
Okay.
Okay,
yes.
there you go.
All right.
There you go. That's what we need. So that's
So he looks like a more homeless version of him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, but you're thinking he's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's like a.
What is the build on Tractor Man?
BuschLight Year. Well, he's stout. He looks like Randy.
Okay.
Randy, but with the face of like. He's older. Like Anthony Hopkins.
Are you talking our Randy or Randy?
No, Randy from Trailer Park
okay.
Boys. Yes.
Okay. I was like, older man. What the fuck are you talking about?
How old is this guy gonna be? Yes. But yeah, he's got a.
All right, I got that. Just go on to you were talking about Bo Peep
with the face of the uncle from Supernatural.
Uncle.
Isn't it his uncle?
His dad and his grandpa, right?
The dude with the gray beard and the mustache and the head. He's like, "Oh, you boys did it again."
I'll look him up. Keep going.
All right, so that's BuschLight Year. That's Woody, and then for Bo Peep, it would actually be Bajit.
Oh, Bobby, that's what you're talking about.
Bobby, yeah, Bajit. And she's not like a shepherd. She's like constantly trying to redeem the reward points from the toys they bought. It's like, oh, BuschLight Year, give me your toys. What is your toys? Yeah, that's as far as I got with that one.
What would the aliens be, dude? I'm very up on the
aliens would. I mean, they're just gonna be Mexicans.
Bunch of Mexicans following around,
but short Mexicans.
Well, of course, dude. Have
Like,
you ever met? I guess there was Rico, but other than Rico,
no. But I thought he was like Polynesian or something.
no, he was southern, like below Mexico, whatever's in the down yonder.
He was in the down south.
I don't. It was he was Colombian or something. Maybe was the he was cool.
And then Mr. Potato Head would be Andre the Giant, but he has elephantitis, and so he constantly has to put different prosthetics on to cover up his elephantitis on his like swelling limbs.
Is he like wrapped in bandages or
No,
something?
it's Andre the Giant that is a quadriplegic that would constantly have to, and his like face was mauled off.
Isn't Mr. Potato Head supposed to be like a Wish guy?
Yeah, I thought it was like Steve Harvey, but maybe that's just because he looks like him.
Is Mr. Potato Head Jewish?
Yes. Is Harrison Ford Jewish? Yes. Speaking of creatures, have you ever
While Mr. Potato Head isn't explicitly religious, the toy itself has deep historic ties to Judaism.
What?
The creator, Mr. Potato Head, was invented in 1949 by Brooklyn-born toy designer George Lerner, the son of Jewish immigrants from Romania. So it's
Dude,
a gypsy, and yeah.
Wow. I guess we should have a gypsy in there somewhere. Maybe Bajit could be a gypsy instead of an Indian. Rabbi Shmuley.
Oh, dude.
Have you ever seen the creatures that come out of the tree company that's on the corner of like our industrial drive?
That fat guy. Have you seen the fat guy?
Dude, the fat guy that's got like the turkey butt in the front and the back, and is like
that guy.
His like knees they're like perfectly straight legs that are like.
Yes.
I was like, holy shit! I've never seen that one before.
That guy. I see him, and those dudes work like 16 or 18-hour days, and
I don't know how that guy stands for that long.
Well, not even that. How do you work that? How do you have time to eat?
Yeah. Well, what are you doing to maintain that?
That's what I always wonder, because sometimes there's very few circumstances where whenever people are like, yeah, the doctors just don't know why I don't eat bad. I keep gaining weight. It's like, you bitch, you're just eating like McDonald's every fucking day.
Exactly.
Or we know somebody who is like that, and they get a little treat at Starbucks every day. And it's like the most fattening drink that has ever existed, right?
Literally calories in a cup.
Yeah, and it's like liquid is easier to pack it on, and and it's just whatever. But that dude at that company, I mean, he's got that.
He had the same shape of the guy that made the vibratory bowls.
Yeah, Don or Todd or whatever his name was. It was either Don or Todd. I have his thing on my phone, but that dude, I understood how he maintained his mass, because most of his work was done sitting down, and he drank. He was at our building
6 to 8. Like
no, dude, it was more than that. I was in there with him the whole time. He was showing me. He was nice and very knowledgeable, and he showed me how to do a lot of things with the vibratory sorters. But he every day would come into work with, it was a shopping bag filled with Mountain Dew Kickstart, and not the diet ones, the full sugar ones.
Those ones have like 300 calories in them.
He would drink 10 to 12 of those in a work shift. Okay. And then every time it was lunch, I would have to go in there and tell him, and he'd be every day, he'd say the same thing, where he'd be like, huh, big boy gotta eat. And he'd shuffle and grab food and then go back and eat right in front of the thing he was working on. And I mean, that guy, he was 450.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Huge.
And that dude at that tree company, I mean, he always wears the little, like, the burglar hat.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh whenever I see that. He's got the wireframe glasses, the mustache, and the French burglar cap.
The burglar.
And he's extremely pear-shaped and at least 400. He might be closer to 5. I haven't been able to get close enough to really tell.
He's got he's got like the like what a butt looks on a thawed turkey, and it's just like more mass on the front than the rear. And
yeah,
it's like,
dude.
What are you doing?
The counterweight, buddy.
They have a pappy. Have you seen that guy?
I've seen all of them. They're
Dude,
always in the way.
You seen the short fucker too? And so I was just like, holy crap, how have I never noticed this? Like, they got some creatures in there.
Yeah, I also had the pleasure of the other day trying to pull out, and they were a procession of vehicles
Yeah.
slowly backing in, and because they just can't wait for anyone else,
Yeah,
right?
time to clock out.
Yeah, and
Gotta park
I
it.
watched this one. He looked like that Slackjaw guy that used to work for us.
Mhm.
It looked like him, but it wasn't him because I got close enough to be like, "That this
Are
fucking
you?
guy?" And I watched him having like a panic jackknife session on the trailer trying to
Okay.
pull in. And I eventually, it took so long. I waited until he jackknifed it again and just drove around him. So I
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, I'm not waiting for your ass."
Mhm.
But it was like 5 or 6 tries. And
Oh.
I am not a trailer man, but even I was about to be like, "Let me just fucking do it,
Yeah, dude,
man."
let the people fucking go, man.
Those guys are obnoxious and trashy, but that fat guy truly, there's something, he must have some like secret techniques for keeping weight on.
Something, dude. Something the CIA did when he was a child. He was able to pack it and maintain it.
Maybe he just never shit ever.
Could be. Maybe that's the hack. Maybe all these brokies out here are like, "Oh, I can't afford to eat." Don't shit, dude.
There you go,
What's
dude.
your fucking
Yeah,
problem?
exactly. It's calories in, calories out. If you never let calories out, you never need calories in.
Amen, brother.
I was on my way into work the other day. This one made me laugh pretty hard. There was a guy that road over there,
Uh-huh.
and he had a bunch of, he'll clean his garage out and threw a bunch of stuff away.
Yeah.
And I'm driving and I see a guy pull over, right? And there's a chainsaw on top.
Okay.
And the guy pulls over and he's like, "Oh shit, a free chainsaw,"
Yeah.
right? And I'm watching him and it was like timed perfectly. The guy like gets out of the car and like kind of runs over to it and picks it up. And it was a like a fawn or whatever,
Yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah.
whatever. And he saw the name of it and literally reacted like a snake bit him
Ah!
and like threw it down and ran back to his car. And and I was like, "Damn, dude."
Wow, man.
I mean,
jeez.
if it was free, would you care?
I got a free Poulon from your dad.
I know, but
Like,
would you have that reaction to it?
No, I'd pick
And
it up.
It was just insane.
Use that
because,
shit to cut roots or something,
I mean,
dude.
the dude was just like, it was like
That's so
spaz out,
funny.
and it's I don't know. I thought that was the most like just quintessential like boomer redneck thing
Yes.
ever. Where it,
Oh,
yeah, like I need to wash my hands. Oh God, it's not a
Oh, you light beer? Oh,
yeah, literally has to be like, "Oh, it's not even a pickled radish or whatever." There we go. Back to time.
Gosh.
So I was also, you know what Townsend is?
No.
Townsend's. If you ever okay.
Townsend?
Yeah, he has a YouTube channel. It's pretty cool where he's like constantly LARPing as a like pilgrim.
Okay.
Like that's like all he does.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
And he seems to be a cool guy, right?
Sure.
Like he has lots of videos that are cool. I enjoy watching it.
Okay.
It's very low energy, low intent.
Good pilgrim.
He is a very good pilgrim. But he might be a bad pilgrim. I'm not quite sure because there was a video that he posted in the middle of, he claimed it wasn't intentional, but it was like, why would you fucking post this? Where he was during one of the Donald Trump election things, he
Okay.
posted this video that was a historical drink called the Orange Fool.
Oh.
And all of his fans are like 100-year-old boomers.
Yeah, so
And they like spazzed the fuck out,
yeah,
right?
no shit, dude. Like, what
And,
are you doing?
yeah, I just, you got to be kind of aware of your audience,
Right.
right? If you're, I mean, he's got, so that wasn't what I was gonna say, but I think he does things that are zesty for some reason. Is my
Dude, he's probably sassy Sally just hiding behind his buckles.
he's got the scoundrel boots with the buckles on them. And stuff.
Exactly, man.
And he did have a video that was really funny where they tried to make a historical wooden dugout canoe where they did the thing where you burn out the wood, and he like
Fuck, that would take
he
so long.
conscripted some fat boys to help him.
Did he?
Because I mean, anyone that's going to be a full-time reenactor is not a normal person.
Yeah, no.
Right. So most of the male reenactors are like
They got turkey butts.
so fat they're
Yeah.
disabled. They like their knee braces are peeking out from under their knickers and stuff like that. And they worked on that canoe for like 6 days straight. And by the end of it, he's just sitting there and he's like, "Well, we're gonna have to call this good because I don't think I can take another second of this because it's like such a hard."
Yeah, dude.
I
I'm
mean,
surprised 6 days. I feel like it would take weeks.
Well,
to
they were
do.
burning it and like using
Yeah,
but
chopping
they had
it,
like 6
burning.
guys going full time.
Ah.
And it was funny though because it was one of the few cracks of like normally he's like, well, this is shitty and it'll take 6 weeks, but this is how the
This is how the
Pilgrims did it.
did it.
And then it was him being like, well, fuck this, I'm not doing this anymore. But he had this video, and it was making me laugh because I only saw the title. I have no idea the content of the video.
Okay.
And it was called Making Cheese in the 18th Century.
Ooh.
And it was these people, or it might have been 17th, whatever, it was 1800s. He's making
Sure.
cheese like a pilgrim,
Yeah.
right? And he's smiling, holding a block of cheese, right? And I was imagining if you had a video that was, and in order for this to make any sense, it's done 100% with, like, the people who are there are describing it like you're in the 1800s.
Okay.
They're not using any modern anything.
Sure.
They're in like a
Are they
Renaissance
describing it using 1800s
No,
words?
it'd be like if I was telling you, like,
Okay.
yes, they didn't have air conditioning, so they were hot and
So
sad all the time.
you're in Greenfield Village,
Yes,
and you're watching
it's
them do
this, but they're very serious about it,
Okay.
right? But it's not like as gay as it sounds. It's not gay, I promise.
Okay.
So I was imagining having it be, instead of making 18th century cheese, it would be a video called being gay in the 18th century. And it's like, okay, guys, let's go. And they go to a pub, and this guy, you like walk up to a guy and you're like, hey, you're pretty cute. And then they go, excuse me. And then everybody starts beating the shit out of you.
him.
And
Yes.
then the sheriff comes in and they're like, break it up. What happened here? And they're like, he's being gay. And they're like, take him to
Yeah, get him
jail.
out.
And then you're like, all right, guys, well, they put me in jail for being gay and sodomite. Now the judge is going to hear me. And then it's the morning and you're all like fucked up. And they're like, what's the charge? And you're like, being gay. And he's like, all right, hang him. And then that's just the end of the video.
That's good. I like that. That is funny.
And you've got like the wig on it. So I think that would be a funny video to
being
make.
gay in the 18th century.
Yes.
We have to make a video and post it Pride Month.
Maybe, dude.
Dude,
It is
that's
still
fucking
Pride
funny.
Month.
I had one that I was saving. This is the first I could actually say successful psyop that I pulled on my wife. Okay. We set the scene here. I'm staying up late, smoking the jerky, right? It's raining. My shit gets wet. I'm wiping off, I was like, I just take my shirt off, wipe off the plate, throw it on the ground. She texts me while I'm at work, and she's like, hey, why does this shirt smell like piss? And I was like, well, that must be one of my piss shirts. And she's like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, so how in the bedroom, before I go to bed, I'll take my shirt off, throw it in the corner, and I'll grab a new one in the middle of the night or whatever. And I have 2 or 3 by the bed. And she's like, and after time we, you clean up or whatever. And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. So in the middle of the night when
I
I
don't
have
want to get up.
well, I was like, when I don't want to get up to go pee, I'll just roll over, grab one of those shirts that we use, and I'll just pee a little, let a couple out, and then I'll just throw it back. And she's like, wait, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, that's why I have 3 there, so they can cycle through, they can dry out by the time I get done. And she's like, you're joking. And I was like, no. I was like, what's the big deal? You change babies' pee all the time.
Yeah.
How is this any different? She's like, Levi, you're a grown fucking man. I'm like, dude, it's really not that big of a deal. It's only a little bit. She's like, but it gets on the carpet. I'm like, no, there's 3 shirts there. One sits on the top. And she's like, oh my gosh. And she was like, well, all right, I guess. And I let it sit. And I was thinking about talking to her when I got home that day. I was like, no, I need to call her now. Because if I waited to the end of the day and be like, hey, I was
your
just
whole
joking.
family would know about
Yeah,
it. And you'd
exactly.
be in therapy. They'd come with the Halidol.
Exactly. And so I called them up and I was like, hey, I was just joking. She's like, oh, thank God. That entire time she had me on speakerphone with her brother sitting on the couch. And I was like, hey, so what was he thinking about it? And she's like, he was just like, I don't know, man. Shit happens.
She probably was like, yeah, me too. What's the problem?
Exactly. And I was like, hey, so what would you do if that was an actual thing? She was like, well, I guess we would just put a basket next to bed.
Why did this shirt smell like piss to start with?
I wore it for 3, I don't know. It was just sweat maybe. And she was just like, it just smells like it's wet. And it just smells bad.
That's quite the psyop.
Yeah,
dude.
I know. It was. I was
kind of surprised she bought it.
dude, she fucking bit it, hook, line, and sinker.
I don't know. I don't think that would work for me. I don't think.
Do you remember in high school, we were talking to a person that we know, and they were talking about on long car trips when you have to
Oh,
pee.
yeah, dude, I was gonna bring that up after that. That's what made me
When
think
you
of
have
it.
to pee, you pinch the tip of your dick, relax, hold
Pee a
your
little
pee
bit,
again,
yeah.
and then let it go to relieve some pressure.
Yes.
And so I was like, dude, that's what gave me inspiration for the
See,
side.
when he told us that, Brian was with us, and I was like, "Are you like fucking serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And Brian was like, "Dude, I cannot believe this. This is the most insane thing ever, whatever."
Yeah,
And
what
then
the problem is just
yeah,
will pee.
well, and then after like 5 minutes, he's like, "Guys, I was joking," and I'm like, "I don't think you were, man. Like, for real, I don't, because I saw you doing something in the car, and I didn't know what was going on." And he was trying to say it was a joke after the fact, and I'm
Yes.
like, "Dude, I don't know, man. You know him better than me. I don't know, maybe."
Dude, it could. I mean, hey, who knows? I don't think he was joking.
That's what I think he thought it was a good idea, and when we
Well, I mean, I remember being like kids, we would do like I went in to like wash my hands after something, washed my hands, dried them off, and then I put soap on my hands and I just dried my hands off. And he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, that way I don't have to soap my hands next time I come to wash my hands." He's like, "That's fucking brilliant. What are you doing?" You know, so just dumb shit like that.
yeah, well,
Except not peeing your
and
pants.
peeing your own dick. I don't know what the fuck else to call that, man.
Dude, everything points to the condom catheter. I mean,
It
at
does.
this point.
I mean, I remember listening to a like it was like 4:30 or 4 a.m.
Uh-huh.
phone call on a radio talk show
Okay.
when I was driving up north to Garyville once.
Was it like 248 the Moose?
No, it was Dave and Chuck Freak.
Oh, okay.
And there was a trucker talking about how he's a long haul trucker and he cuts holes in the floor of his truck that he owns, owner operated, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. That's what he said.
Right.
And he would cut a hole in the floor of his truck and peep a bucket over top of it.
Okay.
And then when he would be, if he was stuck in traffic or out on the highway, he would just shit out of the hole onto the ground. And they were like, so like what?
Yeah.
Right? And so after that, I decided to look at a diagram to see where everything,
Yeah,
like
how does it
transmission on the semi,
logistically, how does this work?
and the best that I could come up with was that it's like a rim shot, like bouncing off the transmission onto the ground. And I'm imagining when he takes his truck in for service and they're like, "Oh yeah, so what's wrong?" He's, I just can get like the fluids changed or whatever. And they, move the cab and there's just a pile of shit in toilet paper all
Burnt
over.
on shit,
Yeah, and they're just like, "Huh, that's the third one this week."
Not a bad gig, man. There's plenty of times I'll wake up because we have to naturally bring up 75 again, and you get stuck in traffic. You got to make a decision right when you wake up. Either you're pinching it or you're waiting until you get to work. And so if I could like shit through during traffic,
I have never been able to. We've talked about it before. I can't pee in the bottle when I drive. I just can't do it. It's like a fight or flight thing. Definitely could not shit driving like that. I mean,
yeah,
if
but what if
it
it's
was
like diarrhea? Like,
I would just pull over. Have you ever had to poop in the woods, like pull over and poop in the woods?
no,
I know somebody.
I've always been able to like will it shut.
I know somebody who did that you would never guess it was. I'll tell you later. I'm not going to say it here. It's not who you're thinking.
Really?
It's somebody else that's even further from what you're thinking. And
what you have to do is you have to will it. You have to imagine your body absorbing all of the liquid to make it harder to create a plug, and that's how you manifest the cork.
imagine having like a Cyberpunk body mod that was just an electronic zip tie for your butthole, right?
Oh, there you
You
go.
ever seen Law
Like the-
Abiding
you-
Citizen when they kill the judge with the tie?
Yes,
Like that,
or like
but
the boots where they have like the wind up wires that cinch
the
it shut.
boa constrictor thing. But imagine like a carbon fiber winch around your butthole
There
when
you
you're
go.
like, "Oh, I ate too much Taco Bell," and then like a laugh track plays because Taco Bell poop, haha. And then you go like, "Oh, Taco Bell, excuse me," and you hit a button and you're like, "Huh,
Checkmate.
exactly." And then you're just shaking and sweating, and you have to go to the hospital for a perforated bowel because there's too much back pressure.
Well, they have the like the underwear with a sack in the front to hold your balls. What
Yes.
about with a sack in the rear? So you can just like it's so like you want a
What would
tail?
those be called? Air package.
Hmm.
They'd be called
Drop shots.
shots.
Yes.
What were the
Get your drop shot.
called afterburner? Those sleeve underwear.
Yeah.
When we were hunting in the trip with the drawing thing I made,
Yeah.
my dad had a pair of those that were just
Okay.
in his bag that just like
We're there.
yeah, and I was like, "Why do you have these?" And he's like, "Well, sometimes it's nice to wear when I get hot." And I was like, "What?"
Huh?
So yeah, I don't know. I didn't need to know that, but
Alright.
okay. So
I've never tried
you've
them.
never worn elephant trunks or
I
like an
haven't.
elephant snout
I will
trunks?
say when you like when it's hot and you've been working all day and you go to sit down and you sit on your balls, it'd be nice to not do that.
Yeah, well, that is literally. I didn't ever know what a jock strap actually was,
Huh?
and that is what that is.
Oh.
And it was before they made underwear that had any sort of support, and it was literally like like a harness for your balls.
To just hold them up?
Yeah, so they wouldn't get in the way.
Huh. My dad psyoped us into wearing jock straps. He's like, "If you don't wear a jock strap, you're gonna get a hernia when you lift."
Well, that's also funny because that was what he's talking about is a real thing. It's called a girdle.
Okay, but
Okay.
like actually
It's a different
lifting,
thing. It's a
having
different thing.
well, but having your balls up, will that stop you from getting a hernia from lifting?
A girdle physically moves your balls up, but that is not the action that keeps you.
Okay.
So a girdle is a jock strap with support that goes where you get hernias.
Like right in your lower abdomen?
No, like if you get a hernia from lifting, I know this very well.
Yes.
So if you're going to get
As a fellow hernianite.
a hernia lit, I had double hernias. I had one inguinal hernia, which is your
Ooh.
inguinal canal, which is where your balls drop down from.
Oh, okay.
So it is a channel that, while shrinks, never officially closes. You hit puberty, okay?
Hmm.
So that's the easiest place for your guts to push through
Okay.
from extreme force.
Mhm.
The second easiest is your belly button.
Really?
I had a belly button hernia and an inguinal hernia. So every time I squatted, my nuts would get squished and my belly button would become an outie.
Because like your guts would come out and like crush your balls in your sack?
Yes.
Ew,
It
dude.
hurt so bad. And
Dude, ew.
not only that, okay, so mine wasn't that bad. I had a very minor one,
Okay.
okay, and it hurt so bad that I would almost puke.
Would your balls inflate when you lift?
It
Like
was
your
so
guts.
small, I couldn't tell.
Okay.
The only reason I knew I had a hernia because it felt wrong.
Okay.
I couldn't see anything, okay? But I had a thing happen one time that was I had to go to a doctor for it because I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
I deadlifted too hard and apparently somehow like piss into your balls.
Really?
Yes. And I don't know what it's called, but they verified it and I had to take antibiotics.
So like
Make sure I didn't get
retract.
Well, no, it's so you don't get an infection.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it was
Absorb.
yeah, and I was deadlifting super heavy and I like felt myself pee, but nothing came out, and then my nuts hurt really bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and all of these injuries happened before I learned how to lift correctly.
Yeah,
If that
no
doesn't
shit, dude.
surprise you.
Yeah. Fine.
So, and then, but after getting the hernia surgery, I can still feel it, the patch they put in me.
Huh?
Sometimes when I lift stuff, right, and it literally feels like a scrape against my guts. Yeah. Yeah, I know, it's pretty gross.
Dude,
I also
speaking
had
of dick injuries, I remember like being the most panicked I've ever been in my life. Like after you get done fucking and you go to like take a piss.
You can't.
Well, no, you could piss, but like there's juices and shit, right? So it's stick together, and so you have like two piss streams, and you're like, holy fuck! Oh, did I puncture my dick? And you're like, oh wait, no.
There is like after the pee flap within you.
Yes.
You know, the diverter, so you can't pee and come at once. It's
Right.
one or the other.
Yeah.
So there was one time where it took like 20 minutes. I had to pee the whole time.
Yeah.
And it took like a long time for it to switch gears.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to like stick a fucking shish kebab stick up here and bust this bitch open because
I need a ramrod.
Yeah, dude, I was like shaking and sweating, and I was like, ah. So yeah, that would have been nice for a normal catheter there. That would have been, but do you remember when one of our brother's friends, both our younger brother's friends,
Okay.
he slept with a very trashy girl.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember the story or not.
This could be
Many different okay, but
yes.
they were like, "Yeah, man. You know when you have like
Yeah.
you know when you have like really good sex and your dick like burns after?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, dude, like I was gonna say something about it. Like I slept with this girl and then my dick had just been burning for days." And like
Hell yeah, man.
yeah, exactly.
Damn.
So
I
yeah.
do remember that.
Yeah, I remember them telling me
Very
that.
funny.
And maybe like maybe we should like take him to the doctor or something. And they were like, "No, I think he was just trying to like fit in." And I'm like, I don't know, man.
I
That
don't know,
doesn't
man.
sound good.
And he's like walking away, he's grabbing at his shit, trying to pull it down.
That doesn't sound right. Dude, they're trying to get me to join.
Need another
Unbelievable.
Bass Pro beer.
Okay. So I was I'm a fan of what I'm oh my goodness, look at that.
Oh.
You wanna say something, Vicky? Come here, say something.
The Bud Lights are required to be tall boys.
There you go. That's a good first words. So I'm a video game aficionado. I like weird stuff, right? So I found this game that I don't even know the name of it, and I haven't been able to find it again. But you are like basically a stick figure that's crawling through an air vent, and you only have one arm because an alien ripped your two legs and one arm off.
Okay.
And you're like crawling away from these aliens with one arm, and you have a gun, and you have to like switch between crawling and your gun and whatever. And it shockingly is very intense.
Okay. Well, I can imagine. You only got one fucking arm.
So I was thinking about how if I could make an indie video game, right? I was thinking about a couple of ideas that I had. And one of my ideas would be that it's like a very limited scope game.
Okay.
So think about like relatively bad graphics, like maybe like like
Golfer?
no, well, yes, but I'm thinking more
Even
of
worse than that?
what's the zombie game that I was the
Oh,
that one.
yes.
That one where it's like polyometric graphics or whatever, where
Okay,
it's like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
like
Surrounded?
yeah, that's surrounded. Thinking about that type of graphics, okay? Start the game. Like imagine like a roguelike. Okay, so like what Sulfur is intended to be. Where you every time you fail or die, you lose everything.
Okay.
Start from the beginning. Okay? But you are a baby in a crib. Okay? And your goal is to escape the house.
Okay.
Okay, and your parents are home or a babysitter's home or whatever.
Yep.
Right? And you can like sprint around and you get power-ups from like eating Tide Pods and putting like nuts and bolts in your
Nice.
mouth.
Eating batteries and
it's like,
touching the outlet.
yeah, exactly. And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
if you like hold a knife, like whatever, you like, get like a speed increase or
Sure.
something.
Yeah.
And they're constantly chasing you.
That's
So
a good, I would play that game.
so like something like that, right? And then my other one was you are an immensely fat man crawling through a air vent or pipe. Okay, so you're very tight fit.
Yeah.
Okay. And your fatness is also your health.
Okay.
So if you drop below a certain weight, you die.
Okay.
Okay. But you're being followed by a like giant baby with dentures.
Okay.
And every time it takes a bite out of you, you lose mass.
Okay.
Okay. So
Do you speed up when you lose
yes.
Okay.
But if you go too fast, so every time you move, you lose a little bit of weight.
Sure.
So it's
Okay.
a balancing act between,
How do you regain the mass?
well, there'll be like burgers and stuff on the ground that you
Okay,
eat. So like
alright.
I'm imagining you're like dragging yourself,
Yep.
right? And there's a thing like nibbling on your toes.
And you go, you
Yeah,
speed up a little bit.
and then eat a burger really
Yeah.
quick, and then whatever. That's what I'm thinking. But I was kind of thinking of it being like maybe not like air vents, but like sewers. Like,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's just like eating like corn out of shit and like old hot dogs and stuff from the sewer.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. You can
So-
chase them through like a mall or something.
No, it needs to be like I'm talking like you need to be realistic with that because like it should, of course, allegory for something.
Sure.
So
Okay.
like what in the movie Seven when they make the fat guy something he does something cuts his dick off or something for a
Yeah,
pound.
the gluttony.
Yeah, but is that the one where they make him cut?
No, that's from The Gentleman. Yeah. Where he's like, I will
Brandon?
get my pound of flesh.
What is he? Does the fat guy have to like crawl through barbed wire or something?
No, I think they just like forced him to eat and then he died.
Guys, I got this, brother.
Yeah, already done.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, we're gonna kill you. He's like, too late. You know, just shoving sticks of butter down his throat.
Did you know that
They should make a good like hobo indie game, like a good one.
there is one?
Is it good?
Yes.
Because I've looked several
No,
times and
okay.
there's a couple of them.
There is
and I was
one
like,
that's called let me pull it up. There it's a game where it's like a grid-based overworld game
okay,
where you're homeless. You come out into the city and
Yep.
there's like other warring hobos.
yep,
And Detroit is like one of the cities you go to.
okay.
And you can like steal phones from people and sell them at vendors.
Yeah, and then like
stuff.
pick up bottles, fight other
Yes,
hobos,
there's
like
like
get
homeless.
drugs.
You can like
and-
ambush homeless people when they
yes,
sleep and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something that wasn't very good, but I was gonna say it. War hobo, go back. To rewind.
Hitting the indie game of like the crawler.
I don't know. I was looking at some of the other games. I think I have a thing that I want to do where there's several games that I have that I really want to force you to play.
Okay.
Because I think that you would have like a meltdown playing them. And I think it would be funny because you don't handle games very well when you're starting out. So
No.
it would be incredibly funny.
I have progressed slightly. I have matured a little bit.
Yes, but it's a thing that people need to see to understand what I'm talking about because, whatever. But that might be a thing because we're getting close. I mean, we're pretty damn close to finishing the secret build that we're doing.
Yes.
And then the editing will take me a minute, but I don't think it'll be impossible. And then I want to do I on the YouTube channel we're going to end up having a lot different things. It's going to be kind of like schizophrenic style content where it doesn't make any sense and you can't predict what's going on.
But it's all good.
Yes.
It's all good.
They're good
schizophrenics.
delusions.
Yeah.
We want the best for you and say to kill your parents.
Mm-hmm. Thing to you all. There's a guy on Instagram that has speakers that he patched into the wall. He's like, how long will it take for my girlfriend to become schizophrenic? And you see he's got like cameras hidden up and she's like, did you hear that? He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
And the walls are like, go
Come
home
on, talk for
now.
I gotta pee really quick.
Dude, don't let your intestines push out. You got that stitched up. You should be all right. Oh, mommy. Can you feel like it about to like? Dude, that fucking. Dude, getting a hernia is fucking gay, man. Speaking of hernia, I remember, back in the troubled youth days, my dad, he had like, a double hernia that he was walking around for like 15 years that he wouldn't get fixed. Finally got it fixed, had surgery that day. And that day is the day me and my older brother discovered weed. And he was like 15, I was like 14. And so my dad's all doped out on the couch, fucking whitey tighties, scars going, just north of center. And we're like, fuck, we don't even, like, we didn't know anything, right? So we didn't even have a bowl. I think we got a block of wood that we whittled out into like a bowl with like to like smoke it like incense, just suck in real hard. And so we also didn't have a lighter, so we're sitting there in the garage with our bowl that we have whittled out with a little hole to suck through. And we're like, all right, let's go. And he's like, well, how are we gonna light it? And he's like, oh shit. And so we grabbed some like computer paper, ran inside, lit paper on fire, and then ran out into the garage to light the bowl. And we're like, oh sick, we did it. You smoke it, and all of a sudden my dad like gets up out of his like drugged stupor. You can still, he just had stitches, and he's like, what does that smell? I was like, we're just burning paper. He's like, all right. Walked back inside, laid down, like, that was close.
All right. So this
That
has
was another hernia story.
yes, I remember you guys telling me like immediately after that went on. I remember you telling me that. We had a similar thing happen with my brother when he was taking. I'll let him tell the story, but
Okay.
the bullet points of it was that he and a friend of his were in my parents' basement at like 11 p.m., not even like 3 a.m., and they were taking knife hits
Dude, what the
with not even dabs, just weed. Okay, and when the whole house smelled like fucking weed.
Yeah, no shit,
And then
dude.
my parents were like, "What is that smell?" And they're asking me, and I was actually asleep. They woke me up to ask me,
Yeah.
and I was like, "I don't know. You better go ask them, because like,
Yeah. I'm
I don't."
sleeping.
Yeah,
There's 4 teenagers
yeah.
downstairs.
And I heard my brother be like, "You're probably just smelling the burning from a candle." And I walked down after they went
And
down
you
to
just
see, and he's like literally like lobotomized
Yeah.
high, and that was a whole thing that happened. But there was I saw this news article and I watched the video, and it was insane. This guy who so for 3 weeks last spring, ChatGPT convinced Alan Brooks that he had discovered a revolutionary mathematical theory. Uh, okay, so a guy who has no critical thinking capacity apparently.
Yep.
So he asked ChatGPT to explain pi,
Yeah.
PI, not
3.14610.
PIE, yeah, to his son, 8-year-old son,
Okay.
and it was like they settled in to watch a YouTube video about a mathematical constant pi. Later that night, after he'd put his kids to bed, he opened ChatGPT on his phone to read into it further. After some back and forth, he asked the chatbot a philosophical question inspired by pi's exceptional properties. How it's a never-ending number whose sequence of digits never repeats or bears any discernible pattern. When mathematicians find more digits, he'd asked, what are they actually finding? And since pi is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, he asked if there were if there were even any perfect circles in nature. After all, everything is misshapen if enough. Hold on. Brilliant question. This is ChatGPT.
Yep.
Brilliant question. Seems like a 2D approach to a 4D world to me. That's an incredibly insightful way to put it, replied the AI. You're tapping into one of the deepest tensions between math and physical reality. And it just goes on like just AI talk,
Yeah.
right? So he starts putting random theories and thoughts, whatever,
Sure.
right? And he ended up having the ChatGPT constantly like affirm what he was saying, the point where it told him that he had pierced the veil,
Oh.
and he started spazzing to the point where he was calling random math professors and yelling at them
How
about
could you lie to me?
yeah, and then
How could you do this?
and then he ended up calling Homeland Security, so tell them that like the math teachers were a threat to
Society.
yeah, because he had the truth and whatever, and he got like put in like brain care help,
Yeah, dude.
whatever, like whatever. And I was just reading it, and I was like, "Holy shit, man!"
Well, he went full Terrence Howard, didn't he?
Yes, and that
Wow.
was one of the things I was laughing about because that like Terrence Howard stuff is just like, I mean, I tried to listen to his actual explanation of it. It doesn't make
Nothing.
any. So how can 1 by 1 be 1 if 1 plus 1 is
Well, 1
2?
times 1 is only 1, but there's 2 numbers there. And the
Yes.
2 numbers can only be 1 number.
Yeah,
There's one
literally
number.
the question is, how can there only be 1 if there's 2?
Yes.
Well, what does this whatever, and then I don't know, that shit is infuriating. What do you mean? How can whatever. I
If
also
I
didn't
have 1 backwoods and I take another 1 backwoods, how many blunts do I have?
have you ever rolled a backwoods blunt,
I
dude?
have.
Is it worth
Very difficult and not worth it, no.
Oh,
I'd
wasn't
rather
worth
split a swisher and roll it up. Although I do recall every once in a while, one of my younger brothers and their younger brother friends will be like, "Man, you used to roll pretty good." And I was like, "Really? I don't
remember that, but all right,
fucking
man.
know.
Yeah.
Okay."
I remember them telling me that, being like, "Yeah, we would have Levi, and he could roll the best blunts, and I was like, I mean, I don't really remember when we were doing that it being exceptional, but like my thought at the time was like, oh well, maybe it is, and I just don't have enough experience with.
I do remember one time like getting drunk and lifting in the garage, and like the group came upstairs like, hey, could you come here really quick? And I was like, so, all right, 16 years
Yeah.
old, drunk, lifting, stumbled downstairs like, hey, could you do this? Like, all right, here you
Just
go.
did it,
Just
yeah.
did it, and then walked upstairs, and they were like, what?
I remember them asking me to help them smoke weed for one of the first times, and it was at like 3 a.m. and they woke me up at our parents' house, and I was like, you gotta go outside, man. You
Yeah,
can't.
you can't fucking do it in the
Yeah.
basement.
And they pulled out their stash, and it was like the shittiest weed I've ever seen in a corn cob pipe.
Hell yeah, dude.
And I was like, where did you even get this? And one of them was like, I took it from my grandpa. And I was like, do not put this back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were ripping it. And I remember just watching, it was near the end, one of them pulling, like it was like clogged the fuck up.
Yeah.
And pulling as hard as he could. And I was watching the ember dance around and just shoot up. And he started coughing, and I was like, you better be quiet. My parents are gonna wait.
They started to link psychosis smoking weed now because it's so strong.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe that, because there were times
Like you
where
were like 5 times more you have like a 5 times higher chance of developing some type of psychosis from smoking weed.
well, it's just because
Well, because it used to be like what in the 70s, like 3%,
yeah, I mean,
2%.
yes, it was. You're at the point now where when it's dried, it's like 20 to 40% of the weight.
And then if you're doing any like pens or extracts, right,
Like-
you're like fucking 90%.
Yeah, I remember.
No wonder I
smoking-
have an existential crisis every time
Well,
I
that-
like go to try it.
That was the thing. I remember smoking weed and just taking like normal, rips off like
Yeah.
whatever the
2 hits,
crack,
3 hits
the
maybe.
crack pipe thing that
Oh,
you
yeah.
smoke. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but
Pipe.
yeah, one of those. And
Or if you're gay, you have a name for it.
yes. So, and then somebody convincing me to try a gravity bong, and immediately getting so high, I was like literally hallucinating and puking everywhere. And then them letting me know that actually it was probably mental because weed can't do that. And like, dude,
I'm doing it,
Yeah,
right? Okay, you just saw me do it.
and that was also, I remember specifically, the gravity bong was a 5-gallon bucket, a cut-off Diet Coke 2-liter,
Oh yeah.
and a 10mm socket glued to the bottle cap. That was and I got so fucked up from that it took me as a dumb high schooler years to ever smoke weed again.
Yeah.
That was like traumatic. I remember going so
Did you
far.
like push it back into the water? Did they make you push it back into the water?
No, I didn't even take that much of it, and I was puking like just. I thought I was on a boat. I was like, and then I remember finally getting done, and them being like, "Do you want to do it again?" And dude, I got to get the fuck out of here, man.
I can just remember like smoking on it, like, and being like nothing, being like, oh, and Wednesday late start, time to have a little chief, and sit out underneath a tree and smoke my Gandalf pipe with a button, like just 3 or 4 bowls, and just like do it. I'm like, man, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. And then now it's like, do not bring. I don't like the smell of it. I don't want it.
You mean
Get
when you
it
have
away.
an actual responsibility and you smoke weed and you're like, I'm going to hell, and you're
Yes.
stop.
I won't be able to get up. I won't be able to do it.
Yeah, I do remember getting like couch locked for the first time and being convinced that I was just never going to be able to get up again. I guess I'm handicapped forever.
Well, I feel like everybody's heard the stories like, yeah, that one dude took acid one time, thinks he's a glass of orange juice, and he's gonna spill.
Yeah.
And he walks around like this, and he's tiptoeing. It's like, oh fuck, that's gonna be me. That's gonna happen.
You ever take salvia?
No, I never did.
Do that right now.
No, I'm good. That was one of the things I wanted to see, but
What, take salvia?
yeah, never got the opportunity to. They took it out of the gas stations before then.
Hi.